Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm trying the solid color build challenge, or attempting it for actually the second time because I filmed this last night and the footage did not record properly and I got really mad. I was like, I'm not doing this again, but I decided to redo it, and I actually like the way it turned out this time a little bit better. I made the house a little bit bigger and added a few extra things, some more detail. Now, obviously I'm going for orange. I think obviously I'm going for orange. I was tossing up between orange and green, but I think green, I don't know, I just did a mint not so berry build a few videos ago, and I don't know, I feel like I haven't seen any orange videos for this challenge, but I mean, that's not to say they're not out there. I just haven't seen any myself in my subscription feed, so I thought I'd give orange a try. And I love orange, it's one of my favorite colors. So it was I actually had no idea what items I would be able to find in orange. Now, these windows here were the only choice for orange windows, and it's not what I wanted to sort of go for at all. I was aiming for a sort of cottagey, cute, even cabiny sort of style home, and the windows just completely threw it out. Completely threw it off, I mean. So I've tried to keep that feel with most of the furnishing, like the doors really sort of cute, cottagey vibe, but I had to make some allowances for the windows, so I've made the roof quite modern, and I don't know, the house does not make sense to me at all, but it's very orange. It fits the challenge criteria for the most part. And I can't remember off the top of my head who created this challenge, but I will link it down below along with the rules. I think it's pretty simple. You just need to build a house in a solid color, and I think a part of the rules is that the items have to be at least 60% that color, and I have made some allowances for myself. I've taken it upon myself, so you know, it is kind of cheating. That I couldn't find, obviously there was a TV that was orange, but it was the Penguin TV, and the fridge isn't 60% orange, and there's a few things, like a few rugs that are borderline not 60% orange, but I know I did the best I could. So I mean, I hope you like it. I had so much fun building this. I don't normally do things like this. I don't normally work with color. I'm normally, neutral build, same old. And I will point out, you notice I skipped ahead, so I did some landscape work, which isn't really in frame at the moment, but I used the pool tool, that's really hard to say, the pool tool, to create like an orange pond. I used that orange wallpaper I featured, it was a little while ago now, I'm way behind, to make it sort of seem more orangey, and that pinky orange water as well. So I mean, I don't know if that's really following the challenge rules, but I think it looks really cute out the front. It adds something different to the house. The rocks aren't really orange that are around the pool, but they're kind of like a pinky peachy orange, and I don't know. I think it's okay. I never used this wallpaper before, and I really like it. I might start using it more often in my builds, not necessarily in orange, but I think it's really cute. Definitely going to be using that again. There's a few things in this build that I don't know, I've kind of just, basically what I'm trying to say is I use a lot of plants, which isn't uncommon for me. I always use a lot of plants, but this is taking it to the next level, and it's mostly because I was running out of things to decorate with. Like, I mean, there's only so many times you can put an orange armchair and a little side table or a lamp next to it in the house. So I think making the house smaller rather than larger is the key to success with this challenge. But you've got a better view of the landscape here. Oh, and another thing, just really quickly before I forget, I resized some lanterns and used the Move Objects on cheat to hang them from the trees, and it looks really cute. And I'm really surprised that I thought to do something like that. So it does look a little bit weird when with the viewing distance, when the trees disappear, you just suddenly have a bunch of floating lanterns. It does look a little bit odd, but from a zoomed out point of view and for screenshots, it does look really, really cute. And yeah, like I said, I'm really shocked that I thought to do something like that, because I don't normally experiment. But I have with this build in a few ways. I think I experimented with the bed a little bit. And, I mean, there's a few other things. The thing that I like about doing these challenges and making YouTube videos is that I really push myself. I was not necessarily starting to get bored with The Sims, but I was doing the same thing over and over again. And it was like, well, look at this modern build, look at this modern build. And, you know, showing my friends and different communities. And it's like, you just kind of become a one-trick pony. And I mean, there's not necessarily anything wrong with that, but I am not an overly creative person. The only sort of outlet I have for my very limited creativity is games like this, The Sims, like sandbox games. And I thought I was getting really stale. Things were getting a little bit stale. This video skipped ahead a little bit. I'm sorry. I just had a few technical issues, but I think you only missed me putting down the dining table, so you won't have missed much. But back to what I was saying, I think doing these challenges and making videos is really sort of rejuvenated my passion for the game, my creativity, and my want to do different things. So like I'm trying to do an island bench here with these, these are like side tables, buffet tables. And that fridge is definitely not 60% orange, but it still has orange on it, so in my mind it counts. But yeah, I did have a few problems with this table getting objects to sit on it, because it would either clip or it would float. It's sort of that in-between height, and I really just couldn't get it to work, so I think I ended up putting just a couple of things on it. I think like a fruit bowl and that little thing of oranges. But yeah, I mean, the kitchen's quite simple. The whole house is pretty simple. It's just very orange, and there's a lot of clashing designs as well. Like there's a really contemporary armchair, and then there's a really old-fashioned couch. Like the house kind of looks a little bit junky, if anything, if in a nicer way. Like, you know, pieces of maybe the Sim living in here's picked up pieces from I don't know, like op shops, secondhand shops, and they obviously really, really love orange. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting this to look uniform. I haven't really seen many builds that do look super uniform doing this challenge. I think I've seen a couple, but they've been extremely talented Sims builders, and I am not one of those. But yeah, in the end, I actually really like how it does look kind of mismatched and junky. Even though it's all orange, it is really mismatched. Yeah, I do like... I just realised I don't think these curtains are following the rules at all. I think that's yellow. Is that yellow or orange? I don't know. To me, it looks yellow. But then so do the spandrels, and the columns look pretty yellow to me. But... whatever. But yeah, like I said, the house is super mismatched, but I don't mind it too much. The TV obviously is just flat out cheating, but I need a TV. And yeah, again, more plants, because I was so out of ideas, and I was like, I'm just going to put a bunch of plants around and make it look really, I was going to say green. We want it to look orange, not green, but I don't know, make it look really vivid and bright, and I don't know, just fresh might be the right kind of word, because orange can get pretty tacky. It can be like quite a 70s sort of colour. It can make you think of, I don't know, just old things. I don't think I've ever used those little display cabinets before. I always see them and I'm like, I need to use these, and I just never do. So I'm glad that I use them. I'm going to try to use them. I say this most of my videos. I'm going to try to use these in another build in the future. I do actually like how the house turned out. I think I've said this a couple of times, but I am actually really impressed that I'm not trying to talk myself up, but that a house that's like completely orange looks so livable. Not that I would live in this house myself. I don't think I could. I think you would go crazy. But it looks plausible that it's a house, you know. Yeah. I do some, I don't know if I do it here, but I do some cool stuff with, yeah, I was trying to get away with that rug just quickly, and then I was like, no, this is blatantly cheating. Like, no. But yeah, I do something cool with the coffee tables, and I try to lay them on top of each other, kind of like a, you see them around. I don't know what it's called. It's like a 2-in-1. But I do raise one of them off the ground with the 9 key and the move objects on cheat. I move it up off the ground once. So if you're really, really low to the ground, you can see that it's kind of floating, but it's fine. Just ignore it. I think it looks good. It'll look good for general gameplay, I think, and it looks okay in screenshots. Yeah, can we talk about just quickly how when you resize candles, the little flame stays in the same spot as when it was bigger, and that really, really bothers me. I think it should be addressed in a patch, but I don't know how difficult it is to fix. I mean, there's obviously some more problems with tables, like surfaces. When you resize them, the objects don't snap to the surface. They stay at the height of its original form. And it's the same thing with light. The light source will still come from a particular place, and the mirrors as well aren't perfect. But I don't know if we'll ever get a fix for that. I mean, I'm grateful enough that they added the feature to resize objects, make them smaller, because it is still pretty new. So I don't know if we'll ever get anything. I mean, I hope we do, but it's not like the game is unplayable. It would just be nice if we had the ability to resize some light fittings without them looking a little bit off, and some mirrors. I would love to be able to resize mirrors and windows as well, but I understand that's probably pretty hard to do. So I'm just being a whiny. I want all this stuff now, and I also want Sims 5, and also want the Sims 4 to be like the Sims 3, and you know, basically with a game that you love and play so much, you're never going to be happy. You're always going to want more. But I understand they're doing their best, so I'm not gonna get into all that too much. I didn't know this rug existed, so I discovered a new rug. Thank you, challenge. And that's obviously 2 single beds, which I tried to make look like a double bed, but it just looks like you push 2 single beds together, like if you're with a partner at a hotel and you get 2 single beds, so you just smoosh them together so you can get your snuggle on. I think it looks okay in the end. I think it looks better after placing that sort of buffet table over the bed. And I have tested it. It is functional. The bed is functional. Some of the other things, like this mirror, isn't functional, but there's another functional mirror in the house. So it's not like, oh, there's no mirror in the house, I have to put my own in. And from memory, the left side of the bed, the sim can't get into because of those flower pots. But don't quote me on that. That was just from my memory, but I might be confusing myself with something else. But yeah, the beds with the buffet table over them do function, which is pretty cool. I think we're pretty close to the end. I use these cloud pendants throughout most of the build, and I love them and they're so cute, but they do throw off an orange light. So what you can do if you don't want the house to be that overwhelmingly orange is you can change the source of light. You can change the color temperature of the light, which, you know, can make it more of a white light, a pure white light, or like a blue white light, which is a really, really cool feature. I always, before I take screenshots, apart from this build, because I wanted it to look orange, I usually go in and change the color source to like a blue white, so everything looks really crisp and clean. It's probably just like, who cares, but I love that feature. It's one of my favorite things that you can do in The Sims. And I don't know, you can make them purple, and you make the light purple or blue or whatever you want. But yeah, being able to change like the light to more of a blue white rather than like a yellow, it's just like a little feature that I really appreciate stuff like that. I don't know, maybe I'm just a sad person. I struggled a lot with the bathroom. There's not a lot of options. The toilet, I just went with this blue and orange one. I mean, obviously it would be more of a blue item rather than orange, but I don't know, the white one just you couldn't really see the orange at all. So I just went for the blue one. It's a bit stupid. And there's no toilet paper roll, so I used a little hand towel, so your Sims are going to wipe there. bums with with a little hand towel. I don't know. I just, you know, trying to do what I can to make the house follow the guidelines as much as possible. Yeah, just putting a few light fittings in. I've put those thong string lights in quite a bit, or flip-flops, whatever you want to call them. Made sure to get rid of all those saucer lights, or the down lights. And just adding a few final touches. And I think we're pretty close to getting into the screenshots, which I have edited so they look really obnoxiously bright. And so yeah, you can see the house is really orange. Very, very orange. Yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I hope you guys liked it. Definitely give this video a thumbs up if you're going to download it on the gallery, which it will be. I don't know if I would play in this house, but I mean, if you want to, go ahead, let me know. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll be back very soon with another video. I'm really hot, so I'm sorry if I've been rambling. And I just threw that screenshot in just because. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.